Arsenal's squad depth at this point, it's ridiculous. It's actually a joke. Bearing in mind 6 or 7 first-team players. What am I doing? 6 or 7 first-team players not in the 11. That is how ridiculous that squad is. When you look at the back four was changed. Calafiori comes off the bench, plays in at centre-back. Noni Madueke and Martinelli shine tonight. Madueke, remember when everyone said this guy wouldn't be a success at Arsenal? This guy is an Arsenal quality. Well, he's played 3 games in the Champions League and scored 3 goals. Both Martinelli and Madueke on the counter-attack are devastating. But the Arsenal team that was going to bottle the title race after the loss against Aston Villa. And I told everyone, people need to calm down. Arsenal fans need to relax a little bit. You've got key players missing. You're still top of the Premier League. You're top of the Champions League. And you've got so many players out of the 11 today. And Arteta just proves how versatile that squad is. Because, yes, Club Brugge had some chances tonight, but Arsenal could have won that game 5-6-0. 1 goal conceded in the Champions League in 6 games. The only team in the Champions League to win 6 out of 6. And there are still people that are doubting this Arsenal squad. There are still people that are doubting Mikel Arteta this season. Imagine Arsenal play Club Brugge tonight with Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka starting, Gabriel, Saliba, Timber. Like, so many players were not available tonight, and they went out and they got the job done. That is what you call a world-class depth. Zubimendi tonight, 2 assists. Ben White comes in for Timber. You know, Norgard playing in at centre-back when he's a DM. It's ridiculous at this point. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Some videos hitting 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 likes, which are obscene. But more importantly, guys, 91% of you who watch the content every single day have not subscribed. So please go down, hit that subscribe button, and let me know your thoughts. We're on the road to 100K. So if we could hit that or get as close to that before Christmas, that would be absolutely glorious. Now, this was the Arsenal lineup. And let's just talk about the depth first. So Lewis Skelly is the backup fullback, right? Ben White's the backup right back. Norgard's not a centre-back, and Nkapie is a backup centre-back to what their 11 is. So none of the back 4 are starting. Marino, Eberechi Eze normally starts. Declan Rice normally starts. So there's 6 of their 11 missing, right? Trossard could play on the left at Martinelli. That, you know, they change things out. And Saka normally plays on the right. So 6 or 7, I'm not doing it again, don't worry. 6 or 7 players were missing from that Arsenal 11 today. And then you look at the bench, right? Calafiori, Gabriel Jesus comes back on, could have scored tonight as well. Marnieri and Saka come on around the 70th minute. Salmon, who's a very, very young player. But then they've also got Eberechi Eze, who didn't come on. But look at the players they were missing. Leandro Trossard, first team. Kai Havertz, arguably first team. Saliba, first team. Rice, first team. Gabriel, first team. Mosquera has played a lot of first team this season when he's come in. So the simple question, and I will keep saying this, is Man City are their closest rivals. If you took Foden, their first choice centre-backs, and let's say Cherky, because of Eze wasn't playing, and let's say you take out maybe, let's say, their fullback O'Reilly. Do they go out there and beat Club Brugge? The same Club Brugge that scored 3 goals against Barcelona. The same Club Brugge who have just sacked their manager, so you are expecting a new manager bounce. They scored 3 goals at home to Barcelona. They have got a decent home record this season. You know, they absolutely battered Monaco 4-1. The same Monaco that battered us in a 0-0 draw. This season, they have been very, very good at home. And that Arsenal side went out there tonight with a number of changes and got the job done. Now, if you're an Arsenal fan, you must be on cloud 9 right now. Like, genuinely, you must be, because the narrative that they only score from set pieces, well, they created nearly 3 XG tonight, had more possession, more shots on target, and their wide players are out there scoring bangers. That first goal from Noni Madueke is absolutely ridiculous. And the narrative will be, oh, but it's only against Club Brugge. It's still a Champions League team. It's still a Champions League side. You know, this season in the Premier League, it's any team can beat anyone right now. Look at how congested the Premier League is. There's about 5 or 6 points between 4th and 12th. The same Club Brugge side, like I said, that scored 3 goals against Barcelona. Arsenal turn up, score and keep a clean sheet. 5 clean sheets in their opening 6 games in the Champions League. 6 wins out of 6. Beating Atletico Madrid, beating Bayern Munich, beating Club Brugge, beating Bilbao, beating Olympiacos. Like, they have been absolutely near on perfect in the Champions League. And they can rest a couple of players, and you'd imagine they'll get players back from injury when they play Wolves, by the way, who are getting battered left, right, and centre. Like, they are more open at the back than prime Riley Reid. They are literally conceding left, right, and centre. That Arsenal team can make another 5 or 6 changes and go out there and score 3 or 4 goals comfortably past Wolves. And bearing in mind, Manchester City play Crystal Palace this weekend, and Man City were very good tonight. They won 2-1 against Real Madrid. But Crystal Palace are a very, very difficult side away from home. At home for an away team to travel there. They've beaten Liverpool at home this season. They've been near on very, very good at home. I don't remember them having a loss this season. Maduake is in unbelievable form. If Crystal Palace take points off Man City and Arsenal go and beat Wolves, the whole Man City going to win the league myth takes another step back, because Arsenal will extend the lead from 2 points to 4 points. Look, I don't subscribe to a lot of the narratives that are said about this Arsenal team. I do think they have to win silverware, and I think Mikel Arteta is under huge pressure. But to the point of where people actually want, like, a lot of this Arsenal team to leave, I'm sitting there having to watch players like Brennan Johnson and their backup wingers and Noni Madueke, who's out there scoring braces in the Champions League. Like, let's just call it for what it is. Leandro Trossard, Martinelli, and Madueke probably all start for Spurs. That's the reality of it. The first goal, 25th minute, Noni Madueke. Listen, this goal is absolutely obscene. Gets the ball on the turn, runs at that back line, holds off one of the midfielders, cuts in on his left, and absolutely Stankovic's it into the top corner off the bar. And this is a player that has been massively disrespected this season at Arsenal. When he signed, the narrative was not good enough. Why are Arsenal paying this amount and this amount, etc., etc.? Well, he scored against Bayern Munich, and he scored twice against Club Brugge in his last 2 Champions League games. So he's played 3 games in the Champions League and scored 3 goals. Again, Martinelli, another player that was massively disrespected, has been very, very good in the Champions League. Martinelli, I think, is Arsenal's top goal scorer in the Champions League. I think he got a goal tonight. He scored against, I think he got one against Bayern Munich. I think he got a goal and assist against Bilbao. He got a goal against Atletico Madrid. So that's 4 goals. I'm pretty sure he scored against Olympiacos as well. So that's 5 goals and 2 assists. He's been very, very good in the Champions League for Arsenal this season. I'm not going to lie. That goal he scored as well was absolutely obscene. But that finish, the power on the strike, the accuracy on the strike from Noni Madueke is obscene. They get into halftime 1-0. It's still quite an even game. Club Brugge will have a decent possession towards the end of the half. And then they make it 2-0, and Zubimendi gets another assist in his locker, runs down that left-hand side, puts a cross right between the 2 centre-backs. I have got no idea what their goalkeeper is doing. Like, literally, flappy hands. He's like this, doesn't go and claim the ball, and Noni Madueke scores a header from about a yard out. You literally can't miss. I would have scored that header. It was that close to goal. Take nothing away from Noni Madueke because he's in the right position and he gets 2 goals in the Champions League. But that, is it Van der Hevel, who, bearing in mind, made 7 saves tonight for Club Brugge. You know, it was a really, really good performance. And then Martinelli, I mean, the nutmeg he done in about I think it was 80th minute, 82nd minute. Nutmeg is a fullback, runs at goal. But Martinelli's goal, running down the left-hand side, cuts in, goes just outside to the edge of the box, and then finesses it, you know, like FIFA 12-esque finesse. Top bins. Goalkeeper's got more chance of getting a hand on the sun. That was really, really good from Martinelli tonight, who has been a very, very good player. And you think tonight, not only Maduake 2 goals, Martinelli 1 goal, 2 assists from Zubimendi, an assist from Lewis Skelly. Like, this Arsenal team right now, when you look at the Champions League table, 17 goals conceded. They are the second or third highest scoring team in the Champions League. Only Bayern Munich and PSG have scored more. They've got 16 goal difference. They've pretty much qualified for the Champions League, because even if they do lose to Inter Milan, right, and Bayern Munich win against St. Gilles, all they've got to do is beat Almaty, the final Champions League game, who are, bearing in mind, are bottom of the Champions League, who haven't won a game all Champions League campaign, right? And they would be top of the Champions League on goal difference. All they've got to do, really, is get a draw against Inter Milan in a game where, let's be honest, at this stage of the competition, it's not really important. It's more important for Inter Milan because they're only a couple of points away from being in the qualification stage for the next round, for the last 16, that 2-game playoff, which us, Newcastle and Chelsea potentially could be in. Like, looking at that right now, that is absolutely insane that they've got a buffer over Bayern Munich. And if Bayern Munich, who did Bayern Munich play the last game of the Champions League? They've obviously got Union St. Gilles. They won yesterday against Sporting. They've got Union St. Gilles on the 21st of Jan, and their last game is against PSV. So you'd expect Bayern to win both of those games. But if they get a draw against Inter Milan and then go and beat Almaty, they're top. And the whole narrative about, Arsenal have to go and win silverware this season, well, they're in the next round of the League Cup. They're in the pretty much guaranteed to be in the last 16 at this point. And they're top of the Premier League. So everyone I understand the frustrations, but that Arsenal depth is just, it's obscene, guys. It's absolutely obscene. Looking at how many changes they can make. They can go out there and comfortably win against Club Brugge. And bearing in mind, they've only had 2 defeats in 22, 23, maybe 24 games, something like that. They've got Crystal Palace coming up in the League Cup. They've got Everton coming up away. But that Wolves game, if they go and lose to Wolves, the meltdown would be absolutely obscene. But they should comfortably go out there, make 4 or 5 changes and score 3 or 4 goals against Wolves as a bare minimum. And they've got a lot of home games coming up. They've got 4 home games out of their next 6. Home game against Crystal Palace in the League Cup, who they've already beaten. They will probably get revenge on Aston Villa and Brighton. Like, they've still got to play, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games I think they've got 5 games in the next 20 days, which is absolutely obscene. But for me, I look at them right now and I think they are pretty much the best team in the Champions League, and the numbers don't lie on that. If they go out and beat Wolves comfortably, like I said, Man City tonight, really good performance against Real Madrid. Xabi Alonso probably will get sacked. I think Madrid only had 1 shot on target. But Man City have got to play Crystal Palace on Sunday. They've got trips to Chelsea, Sunderland coming up. But let me know your thoughts. It's going to be a very, very interesting weekend as well. Liverpool, how will they get on without potentially Mohamed Salah? Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Thank you all for watching. I am out.